Hi, welcome. It's Manifest Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Today we are looking at what your December holds, and I have three oracle decks here. I'm going to pick one card from each pile, and those will be our three piles for today. So we are going to ask this deck, I gotta wake up the deck. We're going to ask the deck just to give us a card for pile number one. Let's see. The Fates. I'll give you a closer look at this. The Fates. This is card number 17. Lots of stars. All right, and for this deck, we're gonna wake up this deck and we will ask it I keep on saying what, but to give us a card for pile number 2. This one is a spicy one. The Salamander and Black Pepper with inspiration. And this is card number 17. The Salamander and Black Pepper with inspiration. Two very inspiring cards. And we will ask this deck to give us a card for pile number 3. I feel like this one. And this is card number 8, Bath Call. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So let me get some crystals and I will be right back. So I'm back with some crystals. For pile number 1, we have this yellow aventurine heart. Pile number 2, whoa, I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if that came up. It kind of broke up for me, but pile number 2, your heart is a black labradorite. I hope the beauty is coming through. It's so gorgeous. And then it's also trying to spin around. And pile number 3 has a red carnelian heart. And I just wanted to talk about this card really quickly. Bath Call, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but it is a goddess, an oracle goddess that actually, it's very interesting because she doesn't speak through an interpreter. She speaks directly to the person that is needing guidance. So I think that's really interesting. It's a personal or an oracle goddess who actually speaks to you personally. So you can pick however you want. Pick from the image, the words, the meaning it holds for you. You can pick from the pile number 1, 2, 3, crystal, the number on the cards. Again, this is 17, 16, and 8. However you want. And obviously you can pick more than one pile if that is something that you would like to do. And I will leave the timestamps below and see you in your reading. Hey, pile number 1, you picked this oracle deck with this oracle card specifically, number 17, the Fates, and along with this yellow aventurine heart. So we'll put your main oracle card over here. And I'm also going to take the bottom card from the deck. Let's see what that is. Ooh, all the glitters. Very appropriate for December when we are all trying to light up everything. It's the darkest month of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. And we are really wanting to light up everything, right? And then in the southern hemisphere, it's the lightest month of the year, and so it is the light coming from the sun. So very interesting. And I don't know if you noticed, your oracle card is number 17, and 16 came up from the bottom of the deck. How interesting is that? So let's get into it. I've got 3 decks here that I am going to use. Let's wake it up. All right, we are going to ask this deck, give us some cards for pile number 1, for what pile number 1 can look for in December. What does pile number 1 have to look for in December? All right, we'll put this one aside in case we want to look at it more. And the second deck, what does pile number 1 have to look for in December? This is coming right out. Let's get another card for pile number 1 for December. Actually 2. And we'll put this one aside. And then this third deck, give us some cards for pile number 1 for December. All right. Now let's see what we have for December. The love card comes up right away. Couldn't wait. This is the 2 of Cups, and it's symbolizing romantic love. Let's see what else. The World card. Oh my gosh, pile number 1. This is going to be a great December. The World card comes up. These 2 awesome cards come up right away for you. What else do we have? The Queen. Oh my gosh, pile number 1. The Queen of Cups coming right up. Let's see what else we have here. Oh my gosh, pile number 1. What have you been doing to have such an awesome December? You have the 9 of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment card. Let's see. All right, wow. Whoops. The Knight of Pentacles. This Knight of Pentacles knows where he wants to go. The 4 of Swords. A bear with some bandages. The Page of Wands. And do you notice it's sitting on the world, kind of. It's right underneath the world. The 2 of Wands. And the 5 of Pentacles. Wow, what an interesting card to end with. This pull after... it is so interesting how these came up kind of in a line and then in a line. What do we have here? How interesting. Pile number 1. I'm wondering about... I am wondering, now that I'm seeing these cards, I'm seeing that there's I'm getting kind of a different meaning to this, the All That Glitters card. All right, I really am so interested in how this came up as 2 lines with really 2 different messages for you. Not 2 different as in separate, but 2 distinct parts of this message. And I'm going to go through this one first because it's so clear. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. This Knight of Pentacles is looking ahead, planning this next step, and then taking the step. And then looking ahead again, planning the next step after that, and taking that step. This Knight of Pentacles, it symbolizes forward movement, but in a controlled, steady way. As I said, it's the slowest knight in the deck, so keep that in mind, because let's go on this Four of Swords. We see this polar bear, and do you see what's on top of it? The snail. What does a snail signify? Snail signifies slow and steady. A snail signifies going at their own pace. A snail can't go at anybody else's pace. A snail can't really slow down much more, right? A snail is pretty much the epitome of going slow. So there's two very strong messages here for you, because the Four of Swords is symbolizing rest, contemplation, knowing that there is going to be some forward movement, but not quite, not yet. And you see that there's some bandages on the, I pointed that out before, on the bear. And that is symbolizing that this rest period can really be restoration and renewal and healing. And then we come to this Page of Wands. This Page of Wands, it's symbolizing movement and, you know, things happening. It's symbolizing things happening, a message, you know. The Page of Wands, it's cute that they put a little message like this is the messenger cat. You could be getting a message. Look at it. Well, first of all, look at the artwork. There's a lot of movement in it, a lot of things going on. And this card is symbolizing forward movement, but not in a way that is immediate, not in a way that's right now. It's like it is the possibility, it is the potential. It's like a potential, you know. Let's think of it as a bubble. You blew a giant bubble, and that bubble has the potential to pop, therefore change its state, you know, pop. But it's not quite popped yet. There's a lot of potential of knowing your inner self and realizing your dreams and all of this stuff, but this is potential, pile number one, which is really, this is the kind of the crux card in my opinion. The Two of Wands, this card is symbolizing, again, very similar to the Four of Swords. It's looking ahead, but within the Knight of Pentacles, for that matter, looking ahead and planning, seeing what's out there, standing and looking out and considering your options. Pile number one. This is so interesting. And then we come to this Five of Pentacles, pile number one, which is so, I'm not sure about this card yet. This card symbolizes poverty mindset, poverty. And I'm wondering if, and it's so interesting, of course, because it came right underneath the Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment. Look at the difference. between these two cards. Overabundance and poverty of the spirit. So interesting. Not overabundance in a bad way. It's like just an excess of an abundance of abundance, one might say. There's nothing wrong with abundance. There's nothing wrong with having a great time, especially in December with all the holidays in December. We want to celebrate. We want to have everything that glitters. We want all of the good stuff. But yet we have this Five of Pentacles. Is this a warning for you, pile number 1? I'm going to continue here. So we have, you know, I'm seeing this Fates card, but like what does fate have to do with this? What does that have to do with this, pile number 1? I might have to pull another card or two about this card, but let's go through the rest of what we have here. So pile number 1, we have this Love card. This is the Two of Cups. It's signifying coming together with the one you love. Happiness and fulfillment. Then you have the World card, which is the complete and utter fulfillment card. Everything. This is the final card in the tarot deck. It is just everything is right. Giving you the world. Everything. Everything's come to completion. The swords, the cups, the wands, the pentacles. Everything's come together. Everything is finished. Everything is wonderful. We have this Queen of Cups, abundance and emotionally fulfilled. Do you see that there's stones, like river stones, on underneath her, but they almost look like jewels. They're so beautiful. There's just complete and utter abundance and complete and utter contentment. Look at her face. She's content and happy, and she knows what she wants, and she knows that she has what she wants. Then we have again this Nine of Cups. So happy. Everyone's happy. It's a party. But if you look at it, I'm hating to be a downer in the Nine of Cups, but look at this person. This person right here is looking a little sad. I'm wondering if part of this reading can be, especially since it's right above this one, is that a warning that your blessings, all these blessings, don't, to remind you that looking at what other people have is not going to serve you, that you have so much. This is reminding you that you have so much, and that looking at what other people have is the only thing that can make you feel sad. Like it's the only thing that's going to make you feel like you have any poverty. I wonder if that's what that's telling us. So all together, we have this strong vein of potential and also of rest and of making sure of what you want to have going forward, very steadily going forward. Not running pell-mell down the street, making sure that there's no cars coming first, that kind of thing. which is, you know, it's kind of containing this Page of Wands energy, these cards around it, into potential that you can then deploy when you want. You can, I think that what this is all saying is that you've got the potential of the Page of Wands, and to, number one, you can choose at what point you deploy its potential. Number two, you are going to maximize your return by doing so, by choosing the exact time. Okay, I am going to plan out everything. I'm going to make sure I'm rested and make sure I know where I'm going. And then I'm going to deploy this Page of Wands energy. We have this, the Fates card, but I'm seeing that you are the master of your fate with this arrangement of cards. And then we have these two. I'm just so curious. I'm going to pull another couple cards to see if we get clarification on this set of cards. All right, I would like to have some clarification for pile number one. What does this mean? Let's see what we have. The Hierophant. Star card. The Three of Swords. Can you see all of them? This is so interesting because I'm going to take it from the end. This Three of Swords, this is the After Tarot, and this Three of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you know, the tarot deck that most people know, this heart is actually stabbed through with those three swords, and it's in the act of being hurt. But in this After Tarot, the heart has stopped bleeding, the bandages look old, and, you know, like the heart is at least partially healed. We can't even see any wounds on the heart anymore. The heart is healing, and the rain from the rain clouds is washing away the blood on the swords. So we have movement on any, which is so interesting because it mirrors this card where she's getting a bird is actually. All right, sorry, pile number one, we had a little technical difficulty here. So what I was saying was, it's interesting because we have, it mirrors this Five of Pentacles where the bird is actually tearing at her heart. She's very sad. But then we have this Three of Swords, which is healing. So I guess what I'm seeing from these clarification cards that actually you are healing from something from your past. Pile number one, because it's a very stark connection that we have here. And then we have this Hierophant card, which is pulling in kind of this Knight of Pentacles energy, and even the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands energy, which is so you know, it's so interesting because I was kind of setting apart these cards because it wasn't quite linking up with these four, but this is linking it up because we asked to clarify these two cards, or not necessarily the Nine of Cups is pretty solidly in with this, you know, the good fortune, but the Hierophant is stability and tradition and knowledge and happy home life. This is also a marriage card, so it's mirroring this very well. And then the happy home life, marriage, tradition, you know, conforming to tradition, and that is bringing in this one. So this is really a card linking everything together, to tell you the truth. And then we have the Star card. Now this Star card is like, if you're looking at this bottom row here, the Star card is hope and rejuvenation and things like that. So the Star card is coming into alignment between what's happening in your 3D and what you are manifesting, kind of coming together, having faith in what you are manifesting. Pile number 1. So what I am seeing is that this December is going to bring you a whole, well, first of all, it's going to bring you a moment, some time. It's going to bring you a significant amount of time for you to heal an old wound within yourself by looking within yourself, by staying in a restful area, restful time, restful state of mind, looking ahead and deciding what you want to do and saving your potential until you want to deploy it. And that healing is going to then allow you to deploy this Page of Wands energy. And you also have, remember, this is so exciting. Pile number 1, we have, as I said, the Love card, the World card, Queen of Cups, 9 of Cups, and it is so fortunate. You have so much fortune, good fortune coming to you, plus this, all that glitters. And the Fates, which is you're making, this Fates card is you're making your fate. Pile number 1, by waiting to deploy this potential energy until you want to. This is a very significant reading. What a beautiful December. I mean, parties, love, abundance, 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 and love and the world. Pile number 1. What a beautiful reading. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I know you enjoyed this reading because, wow, what a beautiful message. And I would love it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future readings. And have a great December and have a great day. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You picked this card, number 17, the Salamander and Black Pepper with Inspiration. And you also picked this Black Labradorite Heart. So we'll put this card over here. And we're also going to see the Spirit card for this deck, Healing. This is the Deer and Oat with Healing. This is card number 15. That's really funny because between you and pile number 1, we had all of the oracle cards are between 15 and 17. So the pile number 1 had 17 and wait, is it 17 and 18 or 17 and 16? I think 17 and 16, you have 15 and 17. Interesting. And then we are going to, I've got 3 decks that we are going to pull from. So let's ask this deck to give us some messages for pile number 2 for the month of December. We'll put this aside in case we want it again. And we are going to ask this deck to give us some messages for pile number 2 for December. Let's have some messages for pile. Oop! This one wanted to come right out. Pile number 2 for December. We want some messages. Let's see what we have here. Wow, pile number 2, you have the 10 of Pentacles. Right off the bat, wish fulfillment, major abundance. Pile number 2, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Look at this bunny hopping around. The Hermit. The Hermit card who is no longer, the Hermit who is no longer a hermit because he has friends now. This is the After Tarot. This is if you're not familiar with this deck, this is a deck where it depicts what happens moments after the Rider-Waite-Smith. And the 3 of Pentacles. Very strong with the Pentacles, pile number 2. This whole top row is Pentacles and a major arcana. So let's see what we have here. The 7 of Cups. The 5 of Swords. The 5 of Wands. You have 2 5s in a row. This is the Chariot, right? I'm asking you like you're going to be able to answer me. And then, no way, the 9 of Pentacles too? What an interesting reading, pile number 2. I just am so amazed at how interesting this is. So, we have so many things going on. And I just have to say that this top row is very similar to the top row in pile number 1. If you were at all attracted to pile number 1, you might want to give it a look because this is really similar. Especially look at this, the 9 and 10 of Pentacles, 2 super abundant cards. And I always read these cards. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I read cards that are like diagonally away from each other or up and down or whatever as more connect, they have even a deeper connection. So I just have to say you're anchored, like you have 2 cornerstones of amazing abundance for this month. I mean, that there's no question about that. So I'm really reading, let's take these three first, because I really seeing them come up one after the other, and especially since it's 2 5s, these are kind of a unit giving you a specific message, pile number 2. And we have, well, first of all, we have these 2 5s, this 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands signifies kind of a fight or conflict. It doesn't have to be, you know, physical fight as in, you know, fisticuffs, but there's a fight, a conflict, and it isn't, you know how sometimes people can kind of fight, like talk it out, and there's some resolution at the end and people feel better, everybody feels better, you know, kind of airing of grievances. But this is not that energy. This is having a conflict that's unproductive and just keeps going, and everybody gets tired and frustrated, and they're still just as confused and or disagreeing as before. So that's this card's energy, which is unproductive fighting for the sake of just, you know, showing that everybody's at odds with each other for no other reason. Everybody knows they're all at odds with each other, and then they just start fighting and having a conflict, but it's not helping or anything. This card, it's so interesting that these two came up together, because the 5 of Swords is, all right, this little character with his bunny suit or coyote suit, whatever kind of suit this is with these long ears, he's one. If you see, this is the 5 of Swords, and he's got control of all 5 swords. All 5 swords are under this guy's control. And you see these other 2 figures going off into the distance, and they're sad. And this card is so interesting. There's so many things going on. So one of the things going on is, you notice that this figure is standing on this hillock here. They're the only things in color. So this character has kept all the swords, has won such a big victory that they're leaving their opponents with nothing, because this character has this fancy, beautiful outfit. You know, he's in color. He's got a pocket stuffed full of something. You can see it's all big, and these other his opponents, they are in rags. They have nothing, and they're also walking off into the black and white, into the grayscale yonder with nothing now. They're sad. But you can see that the victorious person up here, he does not look very happy at all. He doesn't look happy at all. He's very sad as well. So this victory didn't really make him happy. Even though he has everything, he's lonely. And the only people that are together are the 2 losers, but they have each other. They do have each other. They are together. And the victor is lonely and hanging onto swords by the blade. I still don't understand this penchant but this penchant of tarot card illustrators to show the characters holding swords by the blade. I just find that so amusing. Moving on though. So that's a ton of stuff going on, but we still have even more, which is that there's eyes on this tree, signifying that other people have noticed this whole goings on, right? And that they've noticed that this character has hoarded everything together. And so everybody sees that he's been greedy and is keeping everything to himself while these other two go off in poverty and are really sad. So there's so much going on about how a victory, a seeming victory, can be completely the wrong way to go. Like grinding your enemies into the dust can backfire stupendously. And the Seven of Cups signifies choice. And it signifies choice, a deliberate choice. It signifies a deliberate choice. It signifies looking at, in this case, there's 7 cups and they all hold something. And different. And this figure has to choose what she wants from those 7 cups. She has to choose one thing above all the others, and that gets to be hers. And she has to then live with the consequences of her choice. Kind of echoing this and echoing this. In the 5 of Wands, you're choosing, you know, they're choosing to have an unproductive fight where they just continually get more upset and more tired and more frustrated, right? In this 5 of Swords, this figure has chosen to grind his enemies into the dust, figuratively, and they leave. Everybody sees that he is hoarding everything now. He's a bad, you know, he is a poor winner instead of a poor loser. He's a poor winner. He's got everything now, and he's still sad. And everyone else sees. Everyone has seen this. So this also has so much going on. So you see this figure. She is half in the water and she's half in the air. She has to choose one or the other. She has to choose which environment to live in. That's how I read this card. And there's also eyes here watching. Can you see that? There's also eyes watching. So this figure has to choose which environment to live in, like for the rest of her life, maybe. Does she want to live in the environment of the water, which whatever that portends, or does she want to live in the air, which whatever that portends? And her looking out at us, the observer, it seems like she already has chosen what she wants. And now it's just a matter of living with those consequences. Pile number 2. I'm wondering, since this is pile number 2, since there's a binary choice between the water world and the air world, if you're going to face a binary choice. And plus, since there's there's 2 5s, I'm wondering. Let's look at the rest of the cards. So this is not just kind of, this is a unit. And you know, we're edging it closer to this inspiration. You might be inspired to make your choice and just know without any sort of evidence besides your knowing, besides your inspiration, what the right choice is. Because you're going to face a choice here. Pile number 2. Maybe we're going to pull another couple cards to see if we can get a clarification on the choice. But let's look at the rest of the cards first. We have this Chariot, which I asked you, is this the Chariot? It is the Chariot. Because it looks so peaceful. It's funny because the Chariot is just forward movement, just boom, going for it, right? But this looks so peaceful. It's kind of funny. And the little toy horse or donkey, whatever it is on wheels, is very static. There's no movement. It's kind of funny, but it is the Chariot, with all that the Chariot symbolizes, right next to the Nine of Pentacles. So there is going to be major movement this month in your finances, pile number 2, especially since this card, the Nine of Pentacles, which is a total wish fulfillment card, is anchoring this 10 of Pentacles, which is even more of a wish fulfillment card, which is just an overabundance of abundance, which none of us can argue with. You are going to have such major movement in your finances, pile number 2. And next to the 10 of Pentacles, we have this Queen of Pentacles. She is the embodiment of abundance. And she is the embodiment of being where she wants, being happy where she is, of being happy in this abundant lifestyle that she's chosen. You can see she has this little rose arbor that she's sitting underneath. She's got this beautiful throne. I hope she has a cushion under there. It looks a little hard, but look at how beautifully it's carved with this dragon armrest. And then the bunny is hopping by. She has bunny friends. Everything, and she's able to shine up this giant pentacle and look at herself in it. I don't know if you can see that she's mirrored in the pentacle. Checking her makeup, maybe. But anyway, this Queen of Pentacles is another symbol of great abundance here for you. Which is interesting. I'm going to skip over the Hermit for a moment to tell you that this is also a very favorable card. It's the Three of Pentacles, and it's showing teamwork and moving forward together and having, having a good team, being part of something that's successful. And this is coming right above the Nine of Pentacles, and it's coming over here on the other side, anchoring the 10 of Pentacles. So just so much abundance. 3 of the 4 cards on the top row are Pentacles, favorable Pentacles. And then this Chariot and 9 of Pentacles. So much abundance for you in this month. It's just completely wonderful for you. And then we have this Hermit card. The Hermit card, and I don't know if you saw, but there's a 9 and 8, 9. And the Hermit is number 9 in the Major Arcana. And you have a 9 of Pentacles. I just want to point that out. But the Hermit card in this deck, this After Tarot deck, it is... in the original, it's in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Hermit is alone. The Hermit is alone with the lantern looking down over this ledge. And in this After Tarot deck, the lone wolf is with the Hermit and the snake. So the Hermit is no longer a hermit. So this Hermit card is such a major shift. There's something that what this is symbolizing to me is pile number 2. You have something within you that is majorly shifted, completely shifted, and no one else might be able to see. There's no outward how should I say this? I'm going to try to think of the perfect word here. It's like there's no outward sign that you have changed or shifted. No one glancing at you can tell, but there is a fundamental shift in you, within you, pile number 2. And I'm going to say that it is healing. There's something in you that has healed, and we're not talking about some laborious thing. This is right over the Chariot. This Hermit card is right above the Chariot. So this is something that doesn't have to be some long drawn out thing where you have years of therapy, although maybe it, but right now there is a major shift within you that is drawing other people to you, pile number 2. So I'm going to draw a couple cards in case they're, just to clarify about this choice. All right, so let us get a few cards for pile number 2 about this choice. A few cards for pile number 2. The Lover's card, which is a card of choice. How interesting. Well, it symbolizes love sometimes, but a lot of times it symbolizes choice. So let's see how to read it with these other 2 cards. The Empress and the High Priestess. Wow. 3 major arcana, pile number 2. What an interesting trio of cards. And it's 2, 3, and 6. I'm going to take the Lovers as just a confirmation that you have some choice, and I'm going to put these aside for a moment here. Remember I was saying so much there's a duality, there's an either-or choice, there's a binary choice for you. Well, we have this confirmation because the Lovers is also a binary choice. It's a duality kind of card. So it looks like this is giving us the confirmation that you have a choice, that you have an either-or choice. I know that the 7 of Cups is usually 7 choices. Obviously we don't necessarily mean that it, we're not necessarily meant to take it as when you get the 7 of Cups, you're going to have 7 choices, but the Lovers is confirming that it is a binary choice for you. And then we have these 2 cards, which are really, I won't say opposite. I won't say they're opposite because they're not, but they are. The High Priestess is all about intuition and inner world. The Empress is about motherhood and fertility in the outer world. So again, there's this duality going on. This is so interesting, pile number 2. Are you going to have a choice between 2 paths that you want to take? Is there a question of starting a family or not? Is there a question of 2 careers where you feel like one is more earthly and one is more, high ideals, like idealistic, and the other one is more materialistic, if you understand what I mean? Like with one career you would be doing what you truly want to do, what you feel called to do. The other one you might be getting a lot of material wealth. There's some sort of choice that you're going to make. Pile number 2, and it is really interesting. But I have to say, pile number 2, that it seems that you are getting abundance no matter what, because of all of these abundance cards that you have. So clear that you are going to have a major shift in your inner and outer world this month of December. Well, pile number 2, this was an amazing reading. I know that you enjoyed this reading because it was amazing, and I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up, and have a wonderful December, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3, welcome. You chose this card number 8, Bath Call. I'm just wondering how I'm pronouncing it, if it's anywhere near what it's meant to be pronounced as. And I'm also going to take the spirit card from the bottom of the deck, Perfume of Sophia. I'll give you a closer look at this in a moment here. So let's see. I'm going to get the guidebook and we will see what this means, this card. Wow, this is just echoing your other card, which is that you will know. You will know what you are being promised, that whatever you have questions about, whatever you are wondering about, there'll be an answer for you. Just like this oracle that's going to be speaking directly to you. There's danger in trying to force knowledge. I'm taking that as there's danger in trying to force the 3D. Force is the desire to progress faster than is naturally taking place. The oracle of the Perfume of Sophia asks you to trust your nose. The spiritual symbolism of the ability to smell is the capacity for discernment. In the words of Juliet in Romeo and Juliet, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. The nose knows. How funny. So both of your oracle cards are saying the exact same thing, pile number 3. There's no mistakes here. So let's wake up this tarot deck. I have 3 tarot decks. Oops, I have a little thing here. I have 3 tarot decks that I'm going to pull from, and we will ask this first tarot deck to give us some messages about December for pile number 3, not from pile number 3. Let's do one more. Actually, this one. There we go. So let's ask this deck. Let's have some messages for pile number 3. I feel like this one wants to come out too. And this deck. Let's get some December messages for pile number 3. One more. Let's get some December messages for pile number 3. All right, pile number 3. Let's see what we have. The Hermit. This came up in pile number 2. The Knight of Swords. Wow, look at this action. The Knight of Swords is having some action here. Getting to put all of his training to work. The King of Cups. And the Empress. She's having her light bulb moment. I say that all the time. But look, looks like she's, oops. It looks like she is having a light bulb moment, isn't it? Doesn't it? Looks like she's holding a light bulb. Ooh, the Hanged Man. He's very happy. It's coming under this, which remember we just were reading that you can't rush the 3D, and the Hanged Man comes right underneath it. Isn't that funny how that happens, where these messages are reiterated? Wow. We had the High Priestess and the Empress in pile number 2 as well. So if you were drawn to pile number 2, you might want to check it out, because those 2 cards came up as well. Justice card. Look at how beautiful this card is. The Justice card, right under the Knight of Swords. Maybe he's fighting for justice. The Queen of Swords. Right underneath the King of Cups. And the 8 of Swords. Wow. How interesting, pile number 3, that you have this 8 of Swords. There's something, feeling a pull between this card and these cards right here, that there's some sort of thing that you're worried about, that you're worried won't come to pass, but you're being told to wait it out and trust in the process, because anchoring each other are the 8 of Swords and the Hanged Man, pile number 3. And also 8 of Swords and the Hermit. So what we see here is some change, some change. I said the same thing in pile number 2. This Hermit and this Hanged Man, I mean, of course, there's some similar energy here, right? The Hanged Man is just hanging out. Who else is going to want to hang out with the Hanged Man upside down, right? No one. So they're a de facto hermit, right? But if you look at it, the Hanged Man is more of a hermit than the Hermit. Because, okay, let's take this. I'm going to prove my thesis here. So the Hanged Man does have this moth that's, come to say hi, but the moth is going to leave. The moth is not the moth is an ephemeral, the moth is an ephemeral animal, creature, and is going to leave soon. So this Hanged Man is going to then be alone again, of course. Of course he looks happy. Look at this. Look at this face. Very happy, right? But he's still going to be alone. He's still going to be a hermit, because he's hanging out there upside down, being cool. However, the Hermit card, the actual Hermit card, is no longer a hermit. The Lone Wolf. The Lone Wolf is with the Hermit, and so the Lone Wolf is no longer a lone wolf. The Lone Wolf is a togetherness wolf, and the Hermit also has a snake friend. So both the snake and the wolf are with the Hermit now. So again, the Hermit is no longer a hermit. So there's a change here. There's a fundamental change going on. And you also have this duality between the High Priestess and the Empress. The High Priestess is concerned with the inside, concerned with the interior landscape, the inner mind, the inner workings, intuition, very much like this card and like this card, which is, you know, listen to your inner voice, listen to what you want, listen to your wants and your yearnings, and go after those. The Empress is more about outer world, the 3D. So this, the High Priestess is if the High Priestess is manifestation, the Empress is the 3D. The Empress is home life and motherhood and fertility and just the 3D, the real world, the inner landscape and the outer landscape, if I may, right? And then we come, I feel like there was a duality in pile number 2 as well, which is good because pile number 2 is a duality. But I'm seeing it in this pile too. So again, if pile number 2 resonated with you in any way, you might want to look at pile number 2 as well, because I'm seeing the same duality here. The Knight of Swords and the King of Cups. The King of Cups, we'll go with the King of Cups first, is much sitting in your power, being emotionally fulfilled. You know what? I'm seeing that the phone keeps on going in and out of focus, but I think it's because this face is so realistic, it wants to continually focus on the face. So I'm going to try to hide the face. So the King of Cups is sitting in the seat of your power, sitting and knowing that you are emotionally fulfilled, that you have fulfillment, that you are where you want to be. And also this King of Cups is giving back to this body of water, to this ocean. He is contributing to this ocean. He is so abundant that he is able to give to others. And you have this Knight of Swords that is not comfortable, that he feels threatened, that he feels like he has to defend himself, and he's actually going on the attack right now. We don't know if he was attacked first, obviously, but he is attacking. He is attacking it, and he's winning, obviously. He's struck this person so hard that they don't even have their shield anymore. And they look like they don't have a weapon anymore. So there's this duality between being completely comfortable and where you are, along with the Empress. The King of Cups and the Empress are in the seat of their power. The Knight of Swords is going on the attack uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable with where he is. And he's right above justice, which is he meting out justice? Is he meting out justice because he's obviously feels righteous about what he's doing? And this Justice card being right underneath the Knight of Swords is extremely interesting, because you might feel called upon to have some justice, to mete out some justice this month, pile number 3. And because your 2 oracle cards are so much focused on the interior, you might be meting out justice to yourself, among others. So we also have this Queen of Swords, and this Queen of Swords, pile number 3, again, it's being completely comfortable, seated in your intellectual power, in what you are and what you have created within yourself. This is echoing this High Priestess. Both are concerned with the interior. This is more with the manifestation type you know, bringing things into reality through manifestation. This is intellect, but they're both very connected. You know, they're both interior. They're both, and you have manifestation and intellect. I mean, they're, you know, you need one for the other, right? You need to be able to master your mind to consciously manifest things. So, what is happening here? This is very interesting that these came out together. The Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords, very different. The Queen of Swords is sitting in the seat of her power. She is completely confident in her intellectual prowess. She knows she has what she wants. This Eight of Swords is extremely frightened about something, and we don't know what it is. She's looking off, and the bunny's also frightened. She's looking off somewhere, and we don't know. We don't know if there's something really to be frightened about. I love her little bunny hat, too. So we have this, and we have this. I mean, it's just two aspects of the same emotion, right? Wanting to defend yourself from something. So pile number 3, what do you have? I'm going to ask for some clarification about this defense thing that you have. Let's get a few cards for pile number 3. What is this feeling of having to defend yourself? What do we have here? King of Wands. This is like the ultimate embodiment of being able to manifest your dreams into reality. The Two of Pentacles, being able to balance. It's kind of like this, mirroring this Justice card. And we have this Lover's card. It's a choice. Another 2. Another binary. Yes, if you had any interest in pile number 2, I highly, highly suggest that you check it out. And I think the Lover's card also came up on pile number 1. The 3 piles are connected somehow today. But a thought came up to me, pile number 3. Are you somehow afraid of success? Are you somehow afraid of being successful? Are you somehow afraid of being able to sit in the seat of your power? Are you not seeing yourself as successful? Is that the problem? Is that why you are right now being urged to go within and dwell there a bit and listen to your inner oracle and wait, not wait, but allow the 3D to play out in its due time, because there's some fundamental shift. Remember the Hermit, the fundamental shift that the Hermit is symbolizing for us, which is not its usual meaning, but right now with this particular deck it is. There's something shifting within you, pile number 3, this December, and you're balancing what you see in the 3D and what you see in your mind's eye. You're going to balance. This is what this major Justice card and the 10 and the 2 of Pentacles is showing us. Pile number 3, you are balancing what you see in the 3D and what your manifestation is, what your vision is for your life. And you are being called on to accept both. Accept, it sounds funny because we're always urged to accept the 3D the way it is and trust that it is changing and moving to suit you, to suit your conscious manifestation, but you also are being called on this December to accept yourself, accept your wishes, accept your wants, and don't question it. If you want abundance, that's what you want. If you want a family, if you want a new relationship, that's what you want. You are, it's not like you have to be given permission, but the cards are telling you that the only person that has to give you permission to go after your wants and dreams is you, pile number 3. And that is what the cards are saying, that you have to accept your own wishes, and then they will manifest for you. That's exactly what this reading is telling you. Pile number 3. This December is holding this moment in time where you are listening to your inner oracle. You are finally allowing the 3D to unfold exactly how it has to bring your manifestations to you, and you are accepting your own wants and dreams, and you are accepting the fact that you are allowed to manifest what you want. Pile number 3, this is an amazing reading. It's very powerful. It kind of gives me chills. It's like, wow, you're going to go through this major transformation in December, pile number 3. Wow. Wow, pile number 3. Whew. I hope that you really enjoyed this reading. This was such a powerful reading. Pile number 3. And I hope you enjoyed it. If I know you enjoyed it. This is an amazing reading. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future readings. I will see you in the next reading. Bye.